Hey everyone, Aaron here with Elite Water Sports, and today's video is part 2 of 3 series for kite looping. We're going to get you to that next level. We'll break it all down. If you haven't seen part 1, get on back over to our video list and watch that one first. Let's get started with part 2 of our kiteboarding looping videos. If you haven't watched our first video, make sure you do that. That's intro into kite looping. It sets the foundation for what you're going to be learning today. Without watching that video first, you won't know what I'm talking about today. All right, and the second thing that you got to make sure that you know how to do is transitions. Nice, clean, heel side to toe side transitions are going to be key to success. We're going to start with some water down loops, so you got to make sure that you're comfortable with that transition first, all right? So let's get started with that. Very first thing you learned in intro to kiteboarding is riding or walking with those lines spun. We're going to actually do it while riding now, all right? First step is getting comfortable while riding, spinning your bar and ending with that proper color on the left-hand side, and then unspin it. So spin it and then unspin your lines. All right, so you're riding along and you spin your bar or you loop your kite and you don't know which way to unspin your bar. What you can simply do is just try it, right? Try spinning it one way or the other. It doesn't matter. Just remember that one color in this case, the core kite, is yellow on my left. I'm gonna look for that yellow, put it on the left and see if I've made the tangle worse or possibly made it better. If I made it worse, then unspin it back the other way. So practice that while riding it, okay? Also, what you could do is bring the kite up a little higher, let go of the bar, and naturally the bar will unspin itself when it's under load. All right, now that you're comfortable with riding with the line spun, we are now moving on to the loop. The loop, what we're gonna do is a down loop transition. A down loop or a forward loop is going to be in the same direction you originally were riding, and it's gonna take you back to the other direction. It's a down loop transition. What we want to make sure that we are really confident in is our board skills first. Board first, kite second, okay? If you haven't watched our transition videos, make sure you backtrack a bit and really nail those home, okay? We're going to initiate the ride or the transition with almost a board slide to toe side before we pull the trigger on the loop. Now let's talk about the loop, right? The loop is going to be everything. It's going to be full commit, all right? If you don't fully commit to the loop, you're gonna have a yard sale. Also, if you do get pulled and you do get a lot of energy, point the board downwind and go with the kite. You can ride it out. Even if the kite crashes, you're able to ride it out. Don't initiate a fall or a crash because you anticipated you were going to possibly crash, all right? If you think you're gonna crash, guess what? You will crash. Back to the kite. The kite, what you want to make sure that you do is with your back hand, okay? Your back hand, you're going to initiate first. Your back hand's going to bring that kite up nice and high. High kite is a happy kite, right? Bring it up high with a slight backhand and then pull full left. If we're riding to the left, full left on their front hand, bringing that kite down in front of you, back to the other way. Guess what? We got to catch that board up and go with the energy of the kite. As we go with that energy of the kite, follow it until you gain control and then apply some edge as you come around the corner and carve back to the right. Let's see that in motion. Listen, learning kite looping, it's super crucial to set a foundation. All too often I see newer riders, even long-term riders, are inspired to get into looping, going big, doing mega loops. You've got to set the foundation. So by learning those down loops and being really comfortable with actually not just doing a down loop, but looking at the kite and actually understanding how you can actually maneuver it and paint the sky with your kite. After you're really comfortable with that, then let's move to this next step, okay? This next step is going to be jumping a normal boost, and right as you land, doing a down loop. You can start progressing into higher and higher limits to where you pull that trigger for the down loop. We'll start small. Right before I land, I'll do a down loop, and then as I get more comfortable with it, I'll go higher and higher and higher until I'm really comfortable with that forward down loop. Now with those down loops, you can initiate a full rotation of the kite and continue riding your original path, or you can do a half rotation with the kite and go back the other way as a transition. So let's walk you through that. Remember, loops are all about commitment and setting a good, solid foundation. All right, now this is why you're tuning into this video, right? The pro tips. Pro tips come after many years of experience and talking with other riders, and we're fast tracking you, right? Listen, when you leave that water, you better become a rock solid like ball, right? You're gonna lock your core, you're gonna bring your knees forward, you're gonna make sure that you don't turn into a wet noodle, okay? Once you loosen up that whole entire body, the lines will actually go slack. You wanna be a dense piece of mass, right? So that those lines are nice and taut, and it makes that kite really reactive, all right? So right when you pull the trigger, tense up, lock everything out, all right? When you land, guess what? You could be going super fast or you could be going super slow. It all depends on where you place that kite in the wind window. But if you mess up, as long as you aim the front of the board downwind, it's gonna make you ride away every single time. If you think about crashing, you will crash, all right? Have confidence in that you're gonna land on your feet and just ride it out. All right, here we are. We just finished phase 2, doing those down loops, learning some airs, doing some down loops again, getting really, really good at that and setting that foundation. Based off of video 1 and video 2, we want to make sure that you have a really, really good understanding of that and actually getting out in the water and trying it. Have some sessions in between watching phase 1, phase 2, and also remember phase 3 is coming up. So we gotta master the key essentials, right? Phase 3 is going to be all about back loops. Back loops are going to be more intense, more powerful, and we got to make sure that we are really focused on our body mechanics. So stay tuned, that video is coming out here shortly, and we'll see you on the water.